How you doing, everybody? This is Jim Buck with Black Series Campers of Southern California, out of the city of Industry. And today I'm going to go over a walkthrough of the classic double, or the double fold. So we're going to go through all of the systems, we're going to go inside and outside and take a look at everything. So let's get into this, let's get going. So our classic double is obviously a pop-up tent. It utilizes two doors as opposed to the singular door that's being used by the dominators and our patrons. And it's got the same very durable, very tough canvas tent. It's got a 60-40 split in it, so it's 60% cotton, 40% polyester. And as long as you take care of the tent will take care of you. Maintain it, keep it clean. Don't put it away wet, make sure you're keeping it dry. So those things are going to help out last for many, many, many years and take you on all kinds of adventures. Now, we already have the tent in the open configuration. To see us actually opening it and putting it together, make sure you tune into our YouTube channel where we have a whole series for installation and setting up of our tent trailers, including the classic double, along with the awning and with the Annex. So we're starting here with the door to the unit. We already have the stairwell down, but we also have the door zipped all the way down. So this would be essentially when you're in your nighttime configuration, when you're going to bed, you're gonna be doing your sleeping. And so again, the zipper just kind of comes all the way down here. You zip it up, and it's got a dual zipper. You got a zipper on the each side, but you will also have a screen on the inside as well. So you can close this, or open this essentially. You can actually roll this up all the way, and then you have your screen still to allow for air to flow through. So we've rolled the door up out of the way, so we've gotten it out of the way so we can have general access, nice easy access into and out of the trailer. But we're gonna move along, we're gonna stick to the outside and then we'll get to the inside. So we come across our first compartment right here, and we're gonna open this up right here. And this is kind of like our control center. So you can see there's several switches. You have the panel switch, so you can have your light for your water, your battery percentage here, as well as your power, your breaker. You also have a 12-volt DC plug. You actually have two 12-volt DC plugs, but you also have your switches for your pump, for your lights, for your secondary pump, your plugs, and for the fridge. Now, that is correct. I did say your secondary pump. This unit, the classic double, as a tent trailer, has two water tanks, 24 gallons apiece. So as a tent trailer, you are going to carry, or you can carry, 48 gallons of water. So as we come along from our control panel, we have our exterior light, just a general little light to help kind of light your area, whether you have the awning up or your Annex up. At least this way you have some sort of a general light to light the area. And then we come to our secondary door, and this door is going to have our kitchen. So we're going to lower this down, we're going to push this red lever, let go of it, and our kitchen is going to very gently slide out and lock into place. And then you're going to have a leg down here. I'm not going to worry about adjusting it right now, but it's an adjustable leg so you can help support your kitchen. Now with your kitchen, you're going to be able to pop this up. Now make sure you push this back down before you slide it in, otherwise you can cause damage to your faucet. But your water connection, you have a blue hose, you have electrical wire, you have a blue hose. This blue hose is going to attach into here, and that's where you're going to get your water from your unit. This is going to plug in, and there's going to be a secondary one. There should be two of them right here. Oh, there it is. And so with these two wires, they both are going to plug in, and one is going to give you light to the kitchen that goes to the light, and the other one is going to be for your electronic start. So it's an electric start, and you're getting the power off of your battery. So the sink on this utilizes a gravity drain. So there's no gray tank that comes along with this unit. So if you look underneath the sink there in that little drawer, you see that white hose. Well, if you keep going down, you'll see there's an opening in the base, and that white hose extends out the bottom. So what you would do is you would get a bucket, you would set it down here, you would collect your gray water and then dispose of it accordingly. Now for your gas line, to get gas to your stove, you have your gas line here, and it deploys out the back, and you can see where it actually comes in here and connects. And then what you'll do is underneath right here, you have a gas line quick connect. So you just take your gas line and tap it right in there, and that's how you get your fuel. Now, one of the last features for this unit is the dish rack. This unit does not have the prep table that you might see on a lot of the other bigger units. So this one has a dish rack that goes with it. Now, the way it hooks up is with clips. So we have clips that are here, okay? But you may notice there's no clip on the other side. And the back side has the clips right here. Now you notice I'm holding another bracket in my hand here, and that has dual clips. And so what you do is you actually install this first. Make sure you catch both tabs. Sometimes it's a little tricky here. Here, I'm gonna set this rack down, and let me get this. There we go. So I get both tabs in place, and then you take the rack, and you feed the leg into the opening. Now you only have to deal with one single tab left to get put into place. And then that crossbar helps to hold this rack in place so it doesn't tip or tilt or do anything like that. So now you have a rack to put your dirty dishes while you're cleaning them. So now that we finished with the kitchen, we're gonna go into the front compartment. Now, the Dominator and the Patron actually split this area into two separate doors. But on the Classic Double, it's got one singular door, creating a one large cabinet area. So in the first area, now normally these are in bags, but we took them out so you could see all of the different poles. So these are usually the two shelves where you would store the bags with the poles in them. And that's what's gonna be setting up the awning. And again, if you wanna see the awning and the room setup, make sure you check into YouTube and see all the setup for that stuff. Now we also have the room for this very large drawer. And this very large drawer will actually hold, I'm gonna push this in for a second, this very large Dometic dual zone refrigerator. So you can have a refrigerator and a freezer, and it fits in this unit. And one of the nice parts about this drawer is there's actually a 12-volt plug up in here. So you would plug that refrigerator into that area. Now, if you don't want to put in a refrigerator, you can put in an ice chest, or you just have a very large storage drawer. So I'm going to pull this out, and one of the first things we see is this very large box here, and this is actually a portable toilet. So in this area over here, actually behind me, we'd be creating a privacy room where you could have your portable toilet, where you could also have an actual shower if you want to. Remember, 48 gallons of water. So I'm going to set that over here. And again, here we have our portable shower set. So here's the head, here's your on-off switch, and then this is the pump that's gonna draft the water from your bucket or whatever you're utilizing. We also have a toolkit. This is a tire repair kit. So we open this up so you can see the patches, you have the tools. So we have a tire repair kit, so that way if you do get stranded with a flat tire out on the road somewhere, you have a tire repair kit. Now don't forget, on the back side of the Classic Double, you have two full-size spares. So some of the other tools that we have in here, we're actually gonna have, let me find the opening here, we got a couple different clips to it. Open this up here. You're gonna have an air down kit. So that way, if you're getting into some sharp rocks, some sharp areas, I know, I understand, I realize these are not driving tires, but if you wanna make sure you're not gonna puncture a tire or something, you have an air down kit. So you can also just use it to check your air pressures. The units will also come with, now there's already 3 LED lights within the unit, but it comes, we have another LED light that works off of a 12-volt plug and a touch switch for either inside, or you could hook it up outside somewhere. Maybe while when you have your awning up, it's got a couple clips on it so you can hang it and do it that way. And then we also have an extinguisher, which is good to have. You should always have that available to you whenever you're doing your cooking, whenever you set up. Don't just leave it packed away in a box. Make sure you take it out and have it ready. And then we also have our Black Series solar panels. So let me open this up just a little bit. I'll show it to you. This is that briefcase style solar panel that we have. So we open up here so you can see there's a solar panel. So again, this is a 120 watt solar panel. It opens like a briefcase. There's 2 parts to it, so you can see where the split is. and it opens up. It's got arms on it, so that way it holds it up. And it also has the charge controller on the back side of it, so you don't overcharge your batteries. And then it utilizes an Andersen plug. Now the Andersen plug is mounted on all of the Black Series units. It's a 2-prong plug, it's a 50 amp plug. You plug it together and then you make sure that the solar panels are in the sun and you're always charging your batteries. So 2 other things to point out on the door. One of the really important parts is the pole guide. So when you get to setting up your tent, the black ones are going to represent the poles that are already mounted inside the trailer, and there's some other ones, some strength poles that you're going to have to add in. So the black is going to represent inside. All of the red numbers, the red poles, represent the outside, so building your awning, building up your annex room. And then one of the other things up here too is the vent fan. So that way there's a filtered vent fan, and so that's going to bring in or draw out the fresh air to help keep out the dust and all that kind of fun stuff. And so here's the little cover for it that's going to bring in that air. So up here at the front of the trailer, this is here where our drawbar is and our connection and everything. And so just to point out very quickly, here is the Andersen plug. You can see that plug there, right there. Now you also see this large black box right here. And so within your black box, I'm going to open this up. You can see your propane tanks. You're going to have 2 propane tanks and a room for 2 5-gallon jerry cans up here in the front box. So with this unit, now this is kind of unique, unlike the Dominator and the Patron, whereas they don't have a radio, this unit does. If you look down in here, this unit has a radio. Now this switch actually works, I already have it turned on, and so we'll turn it on, and it actually comes with 2 speakers. So you have your antenna for your radio, and so you have your music. Now I'm gonna go ahead and shut that off so that way you can still hear me. And then these other 2 switches, this first one turns on all of the LED lights that are within the unit. So watch, I'll turn them off again, turn it back on. And then the second one, the second switch, is gonna turn on your entry light and your outside light that I showed you early. So the nice part is you already have switches for all of your LED lights to light up your unit. So here on the back side of the Classic Double, we have several different compartments that we can go through. Now one, I kind of mentioned earlier when we were inside and we were talking about access to the batteries. So here you have access to both the batteries, and you can see here's the plug that comes out for the battery charger that's also mounted inside. As we come along, we see one of the city water connections and another city water connection. Now that's not a connection, but that's actually where you're going to be filling those 2 water tanks, those 2 24-gallon tanks. And we come along, we have just another storage compartment right here where you can put some stuff. And then as you come up here to the last one, you can see here's the back side of that storage compartment where we put the poles. You can see the poles. And then we have 2 really nice pull-out drawers so we can put more storage. We can, again, maybe fit some food, fit some more of our camping gear, whatever it is you're taking with you out on your adventures. Now when it comes down to measurements of the unit, I like to kind of consider 2 different measurements, whether you'd like to use it or not. What I will figure in, I'll figure in from the very front box, which is my propane and gas tank storage, to my storage compartment, to the living box, all the way to the end of the living box. You're looking at about 14'8", okay? 14 foot 8 inches. Now the other measurement that I like to do as well is I like to go from the back of the overall length with the spare tires. Now obviously this would be tilted up and the spare tires come off, but if you figure the spare tires fit about right here and you come all the way back up to the very front of the unit and you get up here to the poly block, that area is going to come in at 20 foot long. So the overall length of the Classic Double is 20 foot. Now the height measurement going from the road to the top of the rack. Now if you can figure the lids would be closed and the rack would be closed over, you're looking at a height of about 4 foot 11 inches. So just shy of 5 foot tall for your clearance, or your height I should say. And then this unit comes in at just shy of 4,000 pounds. It's 3,968 pounds is your dry weight. So the box height of this outer unit of the Classic Double comes in at 2 foot 4 inches tall. So you got a lot of ground clearance in here. Now you do need to keep in mind, because if you look underneath here, you have one of your water tanks. Now the water tank comes in at 1 foot 7 inches of clearance. So it does have a bash guard on to protect it, but do keep that in mind when you're enjoying the off-road environment. And here, as you can see, the Classic Double has the standard Black Series heavy-duty suspension with dual shock absorbers, heavy-duty spring, and of course the limiting chain to help make sure it all stays together when you're on that off-road environment. And here underneath, to protect the Classic Double, is a very durable undercoating, so that way it's always protected when you're in that off-road environment yet again. And as you can see right next to that here along our base is one of our 24-gallon tanks. And again, they're both covered with a bash guard to help protect those tanks. And as always, both of those tanks have a release valve, a ball cock valve, so that way you can drain those tanks in the colder, non-used months. So to help protect the undercoating of the Classic Double, there's a very durable undercoating that's been sprayed along the entire base of the unit. And as we travel outwards a little bit, you notice there's a box that helps to protect the water pumps. Now there are 2 water pumps because of the 2 24-gallon tanks. So if we take a look down, we can see one of the 24-gallon tanks with its bash guard to help protect it in the off-road environment. And you can see on the lower half there that there is a drain tube. There's a ball cock valve there. So that way in the colder winter non-camping months, you can open that valve up and drain the non-used water out. And then just above that, you can see the filler tube that goes from the exterior side of the unit down into the tank as well. So now we're inside of the Classic Double, and so what I've done is I've actually taken the bench pads that were along here and I've put them up here in the bed area. And so just to show you some of the storage, now these are small storage areas, but there are 3 storage areas nonetheless. So you can fit some things in there, maybe some clothes, maybe some supplies, whatever it is you need to put in here, maybe even some food, but there is some storage areas here. And so let me just close this area. You can see the kind of bench area that it covers right here. And then we also have our first bed area. So this is one of our bed areas, makes about a queen size bed. And again, it's illuminated with one of our LED strip lights, and then it's surrounded by our many windows that can open up completely. So now we're on the back side of the bench area, so with our doors over here. So as we look into our very first cabinet or bench, you see 2 AGM batteries. So we have our 2 AGM batteries, we have our 1000 watt inverter, and we have our battery charger, and that plug for that is actually accessible on the outside cabinet. There's an outside cabinet to get to that. And so we have all of this stuff readily available right here and easy to reach. And there's even plugs that are here in the inverter if you need to plug into it. Now, as we come forward for the rest of the bench, you see there is still some storage in here. Now you do see this is the water filler tube for our water tank. Remember, like I said, 2 24-gallon tanks. So you see our water filler tube here, and there's a water filler tube here that's going to be filling up those 2 tanks, but it gives you some room to, again, store some supplies, some food, maybe some clothing, again, whatever supplies you need for your camping adventure. Now, your third section of bench, which is in front of your other bed right here, you're not going to have much room by way of storage. As you can see here, it's actually going to be where your kitchen is. So when your kitchen is stored and slid back underneath, this is the space that's going to occupy. So don't plan on storing anything here. So now we're on the entry door side of the unit with the benches. And you can see there's quite a bit of room in here. Now we do still have the wheel well to contend with, but we have a bit of storage room we can put here. On the other side, you might want to be a little bit careful. As you can see, we have a lot of our electronics from our control panel, as well as the back side of our radio and the back side of our speakers. So if you need to make some modifications to your radio system, there you have your access to it. So now that we've gone through all of the storage underneath the benches, we've brought in the tables and we've set it up. So now we're in there in our family configuration. So this is how you would sit around. You can fit maybe about 3 or 4 people here, probably closer to 3, about 2 people here, about another 3 to 4 people along this bench, and a couple people over there. But the nice part is You can sleep 6 people in this bed. You can bring some family in. You can bring some friends in and just have a nice sit down area. You can play some card games, play some board games, just sit around, chat, talk, have some dinner, whatever you want to do. But you have this nice, beautiful, large living area to really enjoy your outdoor experience. So again, we have bed areas. We got a queen bed. We got a queen bed. This area right here, using the 2 tables, makes a huge bed as well. And we'll go over that. We'll make sure we cover that. But again, this is our classic double and the living space that comes along with it. So here we are with our awning configuration set up. Now again, this is going to be maybe if you can just be out for a day or two, couple days, and you still would like some coverage from the sun or maybe even some light rain or something like that. But one of the really nice things is we do have a window here as part of this wall. But the problem is we got a window as part of the wall. So one of the really nice things that you can do if you'd like to be part more of nature, be more involved with what's going on, this entire wall, the whole thing, well, not that part, but this entire wall from the door over will actually roll up, creating a 9-foot space, 9 foot by 3 foot. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get this set, and we're gonna show you what the open configuration is. But again, this is what we're looking at with our awning, so you don't have to have the wall set up. So now that we've rolled up the side, if you really look at this and you hopefully get an appreciation for the size of this, we're looking at a 9 foot by 3 by 2, 3 foot 2 inches type gap. And so you can sit here, and so rather than be inside your tent trailer and not be able to enjoy all of nature because you have a wall up or screen or whatever, you can open up this massive wall, this 9-foot section. You could sit on the bench, enjoy a cocktail, enjoy just sitting with friends or with family, talking about previous camping experiences or even future camping experiences, or even just playing a game. But that way you're not enclosed in a tent. You have this nice open space to fill in along with your awning. So now that we've got our awning up, we've got our tent up, the next thing we're gonna put up, if you're gonna be in for an extended period of time of camping, is our annex. We're gonna close this entire area off. We're gonna enclose it with walls. We're gonna have a floor. We're gonna even have a skirt that's gonna cover the side of the tent. So now that we've put up the annex, this is gonna create a way larger living space for you. Now, one of the really cool parts is you can bring in a lot of sunlight by opening a window, or you can bring in a little bit of sunlight. You have a clear window right here. And so it actually has a roll up. It's got a second set of clips to hold it up right here, and they would zip down. And then again, you have your screen up here. That way you can allow air through. But like I said, that's one configuration you can have. Now another configuration you can have is you could roll that flap all the way up and have the full-blown experience of air flowing through your unit. Now as we take a step back and we look at the entirety of this annex, I mean, it's just massive worth of space. We're talking 9 foot tall. It's a 9-foot ceiling. It's 19.5 feet long by 8 foot wide. It's a massive area of living space. It creates about 157 square feet of living space in the annex alone. So let's come on along here, we'll take a look. So now that we're inside here, again, if you take a look at the 157 square feet of space in here, take a look up. You look at the height of the ceiling. Again, it's a 9 foot tall ceiling. Look around, think of all the space and all of the family, the kids, the friends, everyone that you can fit into this space. You have this massive space tied in along with the living space that's found within the classic double itself. That's 65 square feet of living space in here, not counting the bed area. So you have a great large area to get out and have a bunch of fun with family and friends out on your camping adventures. So one of the things before we go, I'd like to show you is the kitchen. So again, here's where the kitchen is. Like I said, everything is going to be sealed up once we start putting up the awning and the floors and everything. So everything is completely concealed, sealed up. And this is where our kitchen is, as I showed you earlier. So I'm going to undo the Velcro because again, it's sealed up. And so we unzip and we unzip and you can see like here underneath, so you can see where the underneath of the unit is, so you still have access if need be. But you open this up, and then your kitchen is going to deploy right here. So even if you have cots set up in here, or sleeping bags, or you have your food set up in here, or whatever it is you have set up, you have plenty of room here for your kitchen. There's still room to move around. Again, your privacy room, this is gonna be your privacy room set up over here. We don't have it set up on this model, but be looking for that on one of our other model series for setup stuff. And so this is where the privacy room would be, where you would put your portable toilet, or you'd have your portable shower, or whatever it is that you want to have set in there. And then our cabinetry, our cabinet space also, if you unzip this, and you're gonna pull this out, so this is where your cabinets are as well. So you do have access to all of your cabinets, you have access to your kitchen, you're gonna have your restroom, your portable shower, and so everything is available to be able to contact or get to if you need, so that way you can still do all your camping, okay? So this is gonna be your classic double. Again, this is gonna be the basic look of all of your tent trailers when it comes to your Dominator and your Patron, but this is what the whole Annex setup with your awning, with your walls, and everything set up is gonna look like. So there you have it, everybody. That is the walkthrough of our classic double. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative, and I hope it's built a lot of interest in you, so that way you come out, check one of these out, purchase one, and you take it out and enjoy your camping environment. So again, if you really want to see a full walkthrough for our setup or our installation of our Annex room, our awning, and even the setup of our tent, make sure you check out our YouTube page, and make sure you like and subscribe, so that way you can find all of the library videos that we've done and any future videos that we do as well. So again, make sure with Black Shoes Camper, you're able to get out, reimagine your destination, because that's what we enjoy doing. We enjoy getting you out there, getting you camping, and reimagining the destinations you can go to. Again, this is Jim Buck with Black Shoes Campers of Southern California, out of the City of Industry, saying take care, everybody. Have a great day. How you doing, everybody? This is Jim Buck with Black Shoes Campers of Southern California, out of the City of Industry. And we hope that you enjoyed the last video of a series that we just got finished watching. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to ask to make sure that you please like and subscribe to our channel, so that way you can see all of the videos that are coming up in our series. So make sure that you get out there, you smash that bell up in that corner up there. And again, this is Jim Buck with Black Shoes Camper, so we hope you enjoyed that video. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.